Hey everybody, this is Author Cheryl here to do a mid-season of Queen Sugar, Season 2, Episode 8, Freedom Paul. So this is a very, very interesting chapter and a very interesting beginning. I'm also going to call this Micah breaks his silence. We start out with, Friday coming down the escalator off the plane. And we see Dr. Robert Law waiting for her presently. He holds up a sign that says Queen. And I'm happy to see that she decided to take up the offer. Although he did tell Nova that it was sudden and unexpectedly, but he basically wants her to leave her for and he wants her, he likes her. And so he also tells Nova that he's a very nice man. And so Robert gets out of the car, he doesn't leave, he gets somewhere, he's a very nice man. And he goes around to get ready to open up the door as a gentleman do. And we find that Nova has basically got her little skinny butt in the back of the seat. So Robin says, what's going on? So Nova says, the leg was like happy. And so we know what went on, what went down, what transpired in that scene as we did. And many times we see and we hear that Ralph Angel gets on the phone and he makes a phone call to Aunt Vi. And he tells Aunt Vi, he says, Aunt Vi, have you seen or heard from Charlie? Have you seen Nova? And Aunt Vi says, no, I haven't seen or heard from Nova or Charlie. And Ralph Angel says, because they're not really, answering my call. And I'm running out of money. I need to find out if I'm going to get my payroll check because I need to pay some bills and stuff. And so Aunt Vi basically says, look, I told you that if you wrote that ticket, that you will have to be ready to pay it and cash it in. And so he gets off the phone, and then we see Blue. And we see Blue having a conversation with her father, and he asks his Ralph Angel. So Blue says, why isn't Mommy over more often to have dinner with us? And so Ralph Angel tells Blue, well, right now Mommy is basically trying to take care of herself. And there are going to be times where she is going to be coming, and then there's going to be times where she's not going to be, coming to have dinner with us. And of course, Blue's always thinking that isn't something that he did which causes for Dollar not to be around as often as she has been. And so basically, Ralph Angel says no, but there'll be times where she's not going to be able to come. And so we go on and we see that the article of Charlie and the magazine basically has come through, and everybody is reading it and everything. And she's going over it as she looks herself in the mirror, and we see that Charlie is, I guess she looks like she had just came out of the shower because her head is all wrapped up and everything. So she takes the towel off, and we see that Charlie is, looks like Charlie is getting ready to have a new look. And so she, go on and she does this new look that she does. And so we see that while Charlie is basically dealing with her new look and everything, we see that Dollar has basically came over to the house. And this time it's all three of them. It's Ralph Angel, Dollar, and Blue. And so Blue asks his mom and says, well, why haven't you been coming over and everything? And she tells Blue, she says, well, basically the reason why I haven't coming over is because there are some things that I have to take care of it and to make sure that, I stay on schedule. And she went on to explain it to him and said, well, you know how you have to be on schedule and you have to be at school on time and everything. Well, this is what I have to do in order to keep myself, better and to be able to basically be there for you. And she says, but I will be able to, be a little bit more. I'll come and see you and everything. And so Blue asks his mom and says, well, will you be able to come tomorrow? And so Dollar says, no, I won't be able to come tomorrow. It's because I have a big program. I have something that I programmed that I have to do. And then that's when Ralph Angel chimes in and say, is that the event that you have to do? It's tomorrow? And she looks at it and she says, yes, it's tomorrow. And then we see that, in the meantime, we see that Davis is basically out on a date with his friend that he met at Habitat for Humanity. And they're basically, sitting down. And this is not a dinner date. This is more or less a marketing strategy business or something. And so we see that while Davis is having his marketing strategy record, we see that basically Micah is with is with his girlfriend Kiki. And so Kiki and their friends are basically walking, and Micah and Kiki Micah basically see that the black cop has basically the white cops had basically have these two black down on the concrete, and you could see the expression of Micah. He was like very attentive, really watching and seeing exactly what this particular white cop was going to do. And while Michael was really focused on the two black kids sitting down on the concrete and watching the policeman, one of Michael's friends came over, and he sees Michael, and Michael introduces Kiki and tells Kiki, this is my friend. And he says, oh, so you are Kiki. And he tells Kiki that Michael talks about, her all the time. And so the young fella invites them to go to a movie. And so, and he asks us, well, do you want to go to a movie with us? We're going to get ready. Would you like to come and come along with us for a movie? And so Michael says, well, no, I don't. Maybe we'll do it at another time. But you can see that Michael has basically have grown and everything, because if this was in California, he would have basically went on to the movie and not really paid any attention to, what was going on in his surroundings as far as the policemen decided what's doing. So he didn't really basically take the offer up, which is basically pretty cool, because the reason why he said it, but want to sit around and see, if anything happened, if the policemen do anything, out of place, that they at least have somebody to verify, and they would see it. And so we go on and we see that while Micah was Kiki and Micah and her friends, they were walking through town and everything. Micah had basically called up his father and asked his father. David says, "Would you think it'd be all right if I, bring Kiki around so she could kind of sort of take a look at the apartment?" And so David said, "Sure, no problem. Only one thing, I'm not basically gonna be there. I'm gonna be, I'm not there. I'm at a, I'm doing some business and everything." And so we see that Kiki and and their friends and everything, Micah and their friends, they were walking, and we see that Micah sees his dad in the restaurant with another woman, and he got very upset that he sees his dad in the restaurant with another woman, and he tells his dad, "Yo, you ain't really wasted no time or anything. You basically you didn't really waste no time, and you lied to me. You lied to me." And he went and said, he lied to me, and he eventually he's gonna lie to you too. And so the way Michael did it was like he was really, really upset that the fact that he caught his father with another woman, and the fact that he previously had asked his mother about, whether or not, if they were going to be going through with the divorce, and the mother said yes. And so he was very upset, so he stumbles out. In the meantime, we see that Dollar had basically had a conversation with Charlie. And she comes in and she basically asks Charlie, she says, "Are you disappointed and everything?" And so Charlie said, "Yeah, I'm disappointed at you due to the fact that you knew about this letter of this revise of this will, and you didn't even tell me." And the thing I like about Dollar in this season is that Dollar is really, really stepping up to the plate. She is like, beginning to have her own. And so Dollar tells Charlie, says, "Really, that was not my responsibility to basically tell you that Ralph Angel had a revised will. That was his truth. It was not my responsibility to do that." And she tells Charlie, she says, "Look, I know you probably disappointed at me and everything, but I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you the best service that I know how. I'm gonna give you my best until you see fit, till you don't want me to, work for you anymore." And I felt that that was basically really, really good. How Dallas, really told Charlie, that's not my position to do that. That was Ralph Angel's position to tell you exactly what was going on and well. And basically, she's right. That was not her place. That was Ralph Angel's place to tell Charlie what was going on with this will and everything. So, in the meantime, we see Remy, right? Remy comes into the office and he tells Charlie, he says, "I basically really saw the article and everything." And at first I thought he kind of sort of said, "Oh, it was okay." But in the long run, he was like, "It really sucked." you really, because you didn't really talk about your marriage, you didn't really, you didn't really elaborate on it, and the way the article puts it as if that you're really not sure whether or not how long you're going to be in the cane business or how long you're going to be doing this. And the farmers are very nervous about it. And so we see that in the meantime, we see that Remy has put together a little powwow of all of the black farmers who had decided to come over and to allow Charlie to do their cane and everything. And they have, this conversation, and they ask Charlie exactly how she feel about being in this business, and do she think that she gonna be in this business. And so Charlie tells him basically, look, when I was a very young child, my father really didn't fit me in. He really didn't really make me feel that I was a part of the farm, but in actuality, I realized that this is something that I really want to do and everything. And this is something that I'm really passionate for. And so basically by Charlie doing, this little talk and reassuring the farmers that she wasn't going to go anywhere, they felt kind of like, okay, we can do this. But I think what we need to do is that we need to make a prayer while Charlie somewhat try to find herself as to where she is going to be. And so in the meantime, where they had all the gathering is that they had it at the restaurant that Aunt Vi is basically the manager. And when Aunt Vi seems like she felt relieved that the farmers really accept, what Charlie was basically saying, so she felt, a little bit better. But then in the meantime, we see that Aunt Vi is really getting really stressed out with what's going on with her nieces and her nephew. And she totally blanks out. She totally blanks out. And so Hollywood and Charlie goes on and they picks her up and everything. And so Charlie says, well, look, I kind of want to, we need to take you to the hospital. We need to make sure that you're all right, get you checked out and everything. And she basically said, tell Charlie, look, I wouldn't be like this. You guys need to get yourself together. That's one reason why I'm having issues. So she was kind of stressed out, and Hollywood, Phoebe was telling her, well, look, you need to let them try to figure out, how to get along with themselves, and you stop trying to, make everything all right. But we have to realize that Aunt Vi is the matriarch of the family, and so therefore she wants to make sure that her family sticks together, a family that sticks together. And so Charlie, basically listened to, what Aunt Vi had to tell her. In the meantime, we go back to ATL. And when we go back to the ATL, we go back and we see that Robert and Nova is sitting at a table with a bunch of conservative, up-to-do, well-to-do, very racist people. They got money. And they had this conversation that they were talking about the Zika disease and saying that since in the Ward 9, that since all of the homes were like kind of destroyed and everything, that uh, the Zika diseases and whatever are going to have something to do with it. And Noah was not really having it. And so I think this one guy, I think his name was Thompson. And Thompson was saying that he is a very conservative person and he believes that um, the ideology of Donald Trump is to get rid of a lot of health aids and to get rid of a lot of stuff. And so the words that he's basically, because I can't really remember, but some of the words that he was using, Nova basically caught him on it and is saying that the words that you are using is you're sort of using a decoding word in as far as race like a racist kind of thing. And so Noble wasn't really having it. So Noble basically got up and Noble left the room and everything. But prior before Noble left the room, Thomas said, well, unfortunately, it seems that the way you're thinking, at one time, Robert used to think the same way also, but he now has a different opinion on some of the issues and some of the things that we think that, should be kind of what changed. And so Noble went up and went into a room, and Dr. Robert came in, and Noble says, well, I'm not really having, having all this kind of, annihilation of the race and dividing of race and everything. And Dr. Robert says, well, look, sometimes you have to play the game in order to get what it is that you need. And yes, I did think like this, but he went on and he told the reason why he breaks bread with his enemies. That's basically what it's saying. He says, my purpose is to get all the information that I can get, and once I get this information, I'll use it against them. And then Robert goes on, Dr. Goes on and tells Nova, look, it's a woman that's in here who would like to interview you, and she's a part of CNN. And so Nova wasn't really having it, but then again, she really kind of, rethought the situation. And so when we go on and we see that Dollar is basically is at her AA celebration, and it was two people there that was celebrating their sobriety. One was celebrating 6 months, and the other one was and Dollar was the one that basically was celebrating her 2 years. So she got up and she made her little spiel, but the while Dollar was making her little spiel and making her little rounds and everything, and taking pictures, Dollar's sponsors came up to Ralph Angel and blatantly told Ralph Angel that Dollar does not need to have a setback and that you have to be there for the long haul. And if you're not going to be there for the long haul, I suggest that you kind of roll out like right now. There's no need of you being there, and you're not really there for a dollar. You're not going to do anything but make her set back, and then if she sets back, it's going to be worse than it was the first time. And so in the meantime, we find out that Charlie did come to Dollar's celebration, which I'm basically glad that she basically did come. And when she came, she had a bouquet of flowers. And she gave the flowers to Dollar and everything. But that was also a segue that Dollar kind of basically left Ralph Angel to kind of like talk to Charlie. And so Ralph Angel Charlie says, look, I've been trying to get a hold of you and I can't seem to get a hold of her. And I like to know whether or not if I'm going to be on that payroll, because I need that payroll to show my parolee. And Charlie was very, very good. She didn't really, go into her, I'm climb every woman. I'm the boss. And here it is. She said basically, look, Ralph Angel, I know we may have our ups and downs and everything, but in the long run, I got your back. You are still my brother. I'm still going to be watching out on you. I'm not going to just walk away from you like that. And so Ralph Angel said, well, I didn't know. But Ralph Angel still hasn't really decided as to what he's going to do. And I feel that he needs to kind of like get a hold of himself and grow his little ass up. Everybody, y'all like Ralph Angel. I think Ralph Angel is cool and everything, but he needs to grow up. And the mere fact that he needs to really, really grow up. Because otherwise, let's face it, Dollar is making moves. She's really making moves. And so we go on and we see that Aunt Vi and Nova is, having an anti-conversation. And Aunt Vi says, you telling me that you walked away from this chocolate drop of yours simply because he's breaking bread with all the wrong people that you don't really associate yourself with? She says, look, if I was basically young again, I would take the tenderoni on myself. And she said, if you got a good man, why not go for it? Don't let him slip away simply because of that. And so we go on and we see that Micah. We find out exactly what went on and what went down with Micah. Micah is basically back home in his bedroom, listening to music and everything. Davis come in and said, I don't know what the hell, in so many words, you said, I don't know what went on down there, but you will never embarrass me again the way you embarrass yourself and me like that again. I'll be damned if you're going to do this again. And he said, I need to have my old son back. I really need to have my old son back. And then that's when Micah went, that's why I said Micah had a breakdown. That's when Micah started saying, look, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in all of this stuff that's going on. It was it's your fault that Mom and I are down here. It's your fault that you're getting ready to get a divorce. If it wasn't for you, I would not have been in the predicament that I got myself in with the car you basically bought. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have gotten, locked up and everything. And then that's when David asked Micah, what happened down at that jail? What happened? And this is where I was sitting here and Michael was beginning to act out. He was throwing things around. He was breaking things in his apartment, in his bedroom. Excuse me, guys. Breaking things in his bedroom. And that's when he broke down. He said, when the cop came and I told him that I was your son, he didn't believe me. He was very, very nice. That's when he was very nice. But when I told him that I was a son of yours, of David's, that's when things began to change. He put me in the back seat of the car and he started driving. And he drove past the jail. And when he drove past the jail, he went into this dark alley. And this is when he began to get nasty. He said, I don't like you privileged Negroes, or niggers, something like that. And he says, I don't like you guys because you have like a silver spoon in your mouth. He said, but I am going to do this. I'm going to take that silver spoon out of your mouth. And then Michael said that he took him out of the car, put him down on the ground, and he kept saying, I'm going to take that silver spoon out of your mouth. Now I'm sitting in there, I'm sitting like this. I was like, what going on? What are you about to go? Don't do what I think you are about to do. What the hell are you getting ready to do? I hope it ain't what you getting ready to do. But remember when we saw the previews and we saw Michael, he was like having a breakthrough. And I was like, I hope this man ain't doing what we think or what we thought it was going to be. And we find out that this man, this old ass, wrinkled ass police guy, took a gun, the gun barrel, like the gun, and he put it inside of Michael's mouth. And like I said, he cocked it. He pulled it. He didn't shoot it, but he cocked it as if he was getting ready to shoot. And he told his dad, he said, that's really why I feel the way I feel. That's really why I wet on my pants. It's because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what this policeman was going to do. I just was like helpless. And that's why, certain things. And you can see the look on Davis's face. I was like, oh shit. I'm thinking now he finally got his son to tell him exactly what went on down at that courthouse. And I figured that something like that was going to happen, but I wasn't quite sure. I didn't know whether or not, what exactly. I knew that something was going on, and I knew that something had happened because he had held it in so long until he had a breakdown. And this is what goes on police brutality, especially when it comes to young, black, and brown, and some white. But the majority is young, black, and brown, where is that they get them and they do the things that they do. And this needs to be stopped, the accountability. And the theory is that the writers, Ava DuVernay, is driving this, she's driving and she's using her platform in a beautiful way to drive the point that we need to, really do something about the police brutality that's taking place in this country. We need to do something about it. In the meantime, we see that Nova has basically came home, getting herself ready to go, get herself ready for the next night to go to bed. And we hear a knock on the door. Nova goes on, and she's opening up the door. I'm saying to myself, yo, you ain't even peep. You just open up the door? That could be anybody. And who do we see? We see Mr. Chocolate Drop, Robert. Robert has come to get his queen. Robert says to her, look, I'll go to work, and I come back, you're gone. And she said, you come all the way, to here to tell me that? He pulls out this big book, whatever he has, and I don't know what he has, and it's like all the information that he has collected from all of those racist, rich, well-to-do, sedity people. And he says, look, this is how we're going to get what it is that we're going to need. We're going to suck them dry. We're going to use all of the racist stuff against them in order to get the money that we need to bring life to the Ninth Ward. And this is how we do it. But this is enough of that. I also come to get some dinner. And that's when him and Nova, he put Nova up on the kitchen counter, and Nova put her little skinny legs around him, and we know what happened next. They went for it. I kind of think that that's going to be a nice little couple, but we're going to see, because we know that there's going to be some dynamics going on. In the meantime, we see that Charlie and Remy. And Remy tells Charlie the real truth. He says, I didn't really like the article. The reason why I didn't like the article is because you didn't say anything, and I think I repeated it again. And she says, well, we're going to say that, and Davis and I, we're going to make the decision to let people know what's going on with us together. And she said, now, do you think that I'm calculating and stuff like that? And Remy says, well, I don't really know if you're calculating and everything. And Charlie basically put her cards on the table, and she says, look, I really like you and everything. I may be calculating, but I'm not calculating with you. Do you think that you could really try to give us a try and everything? Charlie really is smitten by Remy, and Remy is smitten by them. And so, of course, they get together and everything. And so in the meantime, we go back with Ralph Angel and Dollar. They have Blue with them. And so Ralph Angel goes to cut the light on and realize that he ain't have any money to pay the electrician. Remember, he couldn't cash that check because he's gotten so bullheaded. So he didn't have any money to pay the electrician. And so what happened was that Dollar took Blue and put him to bed and everything. And so Dollar comes back, and Ralph Angel had put all these candles and everything all around the house and everything. And then Ralph Angel tells Dollar, look, I kind of wanted to do something nice for you and everything. And this is when he says, well, this is when Dollar says, are you asking me to stay with you tonight? And then Ralph Angel says, yes, I'm asking you to stay with me tonight. And Ralph Angel had this political thing and just saying that I want to ride with you no matter the ups and downs. I don't want to be without you. I don't want you to leave without me. And I want you to be there night after night after night after night. And then Ralph Angel almost, I think he might have cried. Ralph Angel pulls out the red box, and he has a ring. And he asks Dollar, would you marry me? And so Ralph Angel got down on one knee, and he asked her, would you marry me? Now, I want to ask a question. Do you think that ring that Ralph Angel got engaged with Dollar is the ring that Nova found that was left in the box, the lock box? Do you think that that was that ring there? So basically, Dollar says yes. This is a very good. I don't think I left some stuff out, but this is a very good article. Way to end the mid-season. I basically like the way the writers is basically, moving at a slow pace. Some people are moving at a slow pace, and we can see that there's going to be some stuff that's going to break through, especially with the fact that we now find out that Micah was brutally, he didn't beat on him and everything, but he did do some things by putting a gun, and he violated by putting a gun in Michael's mouth and pulling it. Is David gonna tell his mother, if no, we're gonna find out about it. Is it the fact that Remy and Charlie, is Remy gonna still think that Charlie is calculating? I mean, we know that she's calculating, but how is she gonna handle that? So I'm saying that this is a very good very good way. Um, we will see exactly what's getting ready to transpire because it was everything was left on an even keel. Everybody was like, as far as consummating their love for each other, Ralph Angel, Darla, Charlie, and Remy, and Nova and the doctor. We already know what Hollywood and them are with their love. And on this note, I'm going to say love is everything. Peace and love. You know what to do. Click, subscribe, share, and notify.